You're listening to the best of ITW, brought to you by Pop Guide and WikiLeaf.
The new and deadly menace lurking behind closed doors. Marijuana, the burning weed with its roots in hell.
On this episode, ITW welcomes UFC fighter and host of the Sex and Violence podcast, Ashlee Rebel Girl Evans-Smith.
Ashlee Evans-Smith.
Oh yeah, Ashlee's cool, man. She's the homegirl, dude.
Yeah.
She's fucking a cool friend, man. That was a cool episode. I thought
That was at the end of a super long day. That one.
it was. Remember that?
Yeah, and we had to Uber her in from somewhere. I remember, and that took a long time.
Santa Ana.
I feel I would out of everybody on that set, I would like to re-interview Ashlee because I feel like. Because you know how we get out there, we're fucking banging out like 8, 9, 10 a day, and people are always like, "Well, I can come now, I can't come tomorrow anywhere." We're like, "We gotta fucking do it." And that was like,
we're all here.
Like that was the end of the night. Like
we were cooked.
We were cooked, and it was like, and it was so good, but it was just like, she was so good. Her stories were
She's
so good.
fucking
I felt
awesome,
like
man.
I under-delivered on that one a little bit.
It's one of the ones that I feel like pretty bummed about missing as well, only because there was like history there because Ev had sort of become friends with her back when we were doing the interviews with Rumble and we were UFC and we were actually driving out to Vegas for I think a show to go and do.
Yeah, and you're kind of you know more about that culture than probably you and I put together. I think
I don't watch a lot of it, but I have the people that stand out to me are those people who are like kind and they work hard and you see that like the fighting itself. All the lead up to a UFC fight, I really enjoy it, and I love watching the training, and I get super excited about it. But like, I never watch the actual fights because I just don't enjoy watching people beat the shit out of each other. But I'd heard so much wonderful stuff about what a great person she was.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And then I missed out on that interview.
She has since really. She's had a podcast that really took off.
Yeah, the Sex and Violence podcast.
Yeah, she's doing well with that. And she's really focused on that.
Yeah.
And she's kept pretty busy. And I mean,
she's definitely transitioned. Like, I know she's still fighting and like a bit, like still training at least.
Yeah.
But she's definitely done a great job transitioning into like a personality of some sorts.
Amazing.
But also like somebody with a really cool voice, and she still looks fantastic and things like that. Do you guys still keep in touch much?
Yeah. And I hear from her here and there. Like, we haven't talked in a while, but yeah, we keep in touch. And we check in here and there. She's doing great. I don't know. I think it's cool. I think she was a big part of the game changing. You know what I mean? And hearing her perspective on the sport, was really interesting.
Yeah,
and getting to know her and talk to her about fighting. It's
Did you guys
incredible?
Was because I know you guys had becoming kind of good friends at that time.
Yeah.
Like, would you ever have those conversations leading into it, or was that kind of a new experience while you were on the show, kind of talking about that?
We had some conversations leading into it, and like we just hang out, meet up, have a coffee or something, And dude, she would just like tell me gnarly shit, fighter shit. You know what I mean? And I was just like, I don't know how you can get in this mindset. Like, she basically told me, like, I'm in the mindset when I'm training that I need to murder someone.
Wow.
Yeah. She's like, I'm fucking getting ready. And then she is the flip side is like, you're like the coolest homie ever.
Oh, like, she was like, you would not think like, because I didn't even watch I had never even seen a fight with her, and then I've seen them since.
Dude, she's
and I'm like, that's the fucking person we were drinking at Mike's house or whatever,
pummeling the shit out of another human.
Yeah, like she'd be like, oh, my favorite Canadian buddy or whatever the fuck that shit is, and you're like, such a nice person, and then you're like, how does that turn into that?
Yeah.
But I'd love to hear her perspective on like as we've watched, and especially timely like with what's happening with the UFC, and then. Those Instagram stars, Paul whatever, fighting against Dana about getting proper health care, about getting living wages. Like, these are all things that were never really brought to light when that interview happened. I'd love to circle back and find out her take.
It would be great if Ashlee would let come on.
Dude, it'd be rad to talk to her again. We should totally do that. And I'd like to talk to her about her podcast and how great she's doing with it, Yeah. But she's an inspiring person. She's definitely made of, like in Spanish they say ganas, like sheer will. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like I really think that's
Ganas?
Ganas. Yeah.
Cool.
She fucking is. She's a powerful person. I think it's cool, man, and it's cool to see someone that can just persist through everything and thrive in so many different areas, and just, I mean, to do what she does, like it's ultimate focus. I wish I could be as focused as her. I mean, okay, you have this short amount of time off, then on a dime, you are full-time training harder than most human beings will ever go in their entire life.
And I think
for a day, you know what I mean? Like, whew, man,
I might be remembering wrong, but have they changed the UFC cannabis rules since then? I know that it was.
No, we were talking about that though.
Yeah, I know it was pretty kind of uptight, or the fighting commission was uptight. I can't remember, but you'd
It'd be
think
cool to touch back base on that too.
I would like to circle back if she was ever willing to, but I think she might be. You know,
Remember, she
there's
told
always
us
a good hang.
about those because I had heard about them too. Those weed fights, like the winner gets like fucking however many pounds of weed, and they just get stoned, and like these dudes will, like real fighters, will fucking fight each other for weed. That's cool.
Yeah, wild experience, and that was a great hang, and it was. We got to hang out with her quite a bit over the trips, but I just wished that when I circled back on the episode, I'm like, oh, there's a lot of things, and I thought, I'm like, we could have used Bubs on this one for sure.
Oh, dude,
You know,
we need to get
would've-
you two in the same room, dude.
Yeah,
you guys
absolutely.
would be laughing and hanging, and she's so fun, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's so fun.
So here's the best of ITW. I'm having a hard time saying it with the rebrand. I'm not used to it.
Would you drop your voice? Start talking like me, and you'll say it properly every time.
Amazing.
You're listening to the best of ITW. This is Ashlee Evans-Smith. Check her out on the Sex and Violence Podcast. I'm Bubba Nicholson.
Hell yeah.
I told you nailed it.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
Shout out Ashlee.
Yeah.
What's up, Ashlee? How's it going?
It's good. I mean, chilling in the Hollywood Hills. Can't
You know how
complain.
we do. You know how we do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is really nice here, though.
You know what it
it's a
is.
beautiful night. We're shooting outside. It's cool.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I feel special.
Thank you for coming all this way.
Yeah,
You
we
came
really
from-
appreciate it.
It was like an hour
Thank you
drive.
for helping me come all this way.
No, thank you.
Right. Where did you grow up?
I'm actually from Ukiah, California, which is ding ding ding, like nowhere. No one knows where it's from.
But many notable people from there: Ashlee Evans-Smith, Jade Puget, Davey Havoc, Love Equals Death. There's a lot of guys from Ukiah. That whole area. Nick from Tiger Army's from there. Like, a lot of
Those-
notables from Ukiah.
Ukiah, California, in Mendocino County, in
yeah.
Northern
So
California.
it's just a town.
It's a small town, really
Yeah.
small town, yeah. And some of those guys definitely
You're
shaped
part of the
who
rich
I am.
tradition of awesome people coming from Ukiah.
Punk rock roots for sure, yeah.
absolutely. That's
How many
awesome.
people?
15,000 when I was like in high school. I'm sure it's grown since then. But yeah,
Yeah. So,
not too big.
How many people would be in your high school?
We had 2,000 people in my high school, but that was from like a couple towns over. Like everybody came to this
Oh, it was
one
like a
high
hub.
school. Yeah, like so it was the one high school. So it wasn't like super super tiny, but yeah, it's just a small town. Like Walmart was our biggest. Like we go on Saturday night and go to Walmart and like steal a bottle of booze and then start the night.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
That's awesome.
We didn't have Walmart in Canada till like quite recently. Like I wouldn't say quite recently, but like 5-10 years probably.
Like around the same time you got the internet, huh?
Oh my god.
I love you, Canada. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did you guys have
don't hate
Amazon
me.
first? Or was Amazon popular first?
Was Amazon? No, Amazon's really only started to take over in the past few years.
They're still on AIM Messenger over there.
What's
Oh.
that?
America
You guys are still on
Online?
AIM?
Yeah.
No, they never had America Online.
Yeah,
it was,
no.
it was
Yeah, they had-
COL.
they had
It was
Canada
COL.
Online.
I'm gonna add to the burn. Like they still on MySpace instead of Facebook.
Oh yeah.
I wish.
Ouch.
Wait, so is it myspace.ca up there?
What's that?
Is it myspace.ca?
There is a
up there?
myspace.ca.
That's good. I'm glad to know that they're represented.
Yeah.
So you guys just started getting sidekick phones?
Yo, guys. Okay. Let's get the Canada question. Let's go. Come on, bring it on. What do you need?
Is it like Trailer Park Boys makes it seem?
What's that? Trailer Park Boys are probably going to be the next prime minister.
Are they?
Wow.
Is the show accurate? Is that what Canada's
Oh
like?
yeah. Fuck. This is my goddamn show. No, there's a trailer park. I actually, one of the first places I ever shot a gun or learned how to grow weed was in a trailer park. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like my life.
Perfect.
Yeah, what did you learn in the trailer park, Ashley?
Yeah. That's,
Actually, my first 4 years of my life were in a trailer.
really?
Yeah, and then it burned down.
Really?
It burned down. How did that happen?
Womp, womp. Yeah, I don't know. I was like 4,
Wow.
so I don't
Really?
know. But yeah, I burnt down, and then we moved somewhere else. But yeah, Ukiah is like a very, very small town, and then you love it if you're old or super young, but then you got to get out at a certain age. And
Yeah,
I'll probably go back if I'm old, but maybe not. I don't know.
Did you have a big family?
No, I mean like close immediate family, and then like some other town, another town over, Willits, California. Trey from Green Day is actually from there, and it's just another like bumfuck nowhere town. Like,
Right.
Yeah, small.
Right. What like, do you have siblings?
I do. I have one brother who's actually exactly a year younger than me. We're 364 days apart.
Really?
Yeah. So July 8th, July 9th. And then I have 2 steps, like a stepsister and a stepbrother. Yeah.
Yeah, and y'all lived under the same roof?
We did, yeah.
Yes. So how did you get into fighting and things? Like how did this?
You were telling me it was because a guy walked into your work.
No.
That you got
So
into the-
that's how
like
I
how
got
old
into the
were you?
MMA. Yeah.
MMA,
So
right.
it stemmed from high school wrestling. So like when I was in high school, I was like 15, and they were like, yeah, my brother's friend was like, girls can't wrestle,
Right.
and I was like, fuck you, yes we can. And so I
Yes.
just went out the next day and joined the boys wrestling team, and I sucked really bad for a long time. But like I think I'm really stubborn, and like this is the one instance where like being stubborn actually paid off. And I was like, I'm gonna win, and so I just kept trying, and I finally beat a boy, and that feeling is pretty rad. The first time you beat the opposite sex, you're like burned,
That's
and,
so inspiring.
I just kept it. I kept up with it, and then I went to a lot of boys tournaments, and then when I went to the girls tournaments in high school, like I murdered because I was wrestling boys the whole time. And then I got a scholarship to go to college, and I went to college. I was a 4-time All-American. Graduated with my BA in like 2009, which is a pretty fucking big feat for somebody in my family
Right.
who's never gone to college, never done a sport. I'm like the weird black sheep or like white sheep, I don't know what you want to call it,
Yeah.
of my family. I got really lucky, and then 2009 is when I graduated college in the Bay Area, Menlo College, and I was just kind of like wandering. I had my degree. I was like, I'm going to be an investigative journalist. And then I happened to run into, I told Efren this story before, I happened to run into Eugene Jackson. I was bartending at the time, and he saw me. He was like, I'm starting an MMA gym. You look kind of big, like you like work out. And I was like, no, I used to do wrestling in college. And he's like, oh, you should come on over and start doing MMA. He's like, and I was like, what's MMA? Like, this is a 2010, and UFC has been around for a minute, but it's only like really blown up in the past like 5 to 8 years, and it wasn't like really, really big at this time. And he said it's like wrestling but with boxing. I was like, oh, that sounds fun. So I tried it out, and then I guess the rest is history. Kind of just really, really, really well for me. I started taking fights, started beating people up. And then I got the call for the UFC after 3 fights, and then it's just been going really well.
What you did worked like 3 fights on the independent circuit?
No, so the way it works is that you can have like an amateur career, and then eventually you go pro. So you don't have to do amateur fights, but I think with anything, you want to play a couple maybe like practice shows if you're a musician,
Gotcha.
or like if you're a journalist or whatever, you want to do some practice like interviews. I don't know. So amateur fights is that on that level, and I did 9 of those, and I went really, really well. Won some, lost some, but like amateurs is like where you want to lose, where you want to gain your
Right.
experience, before you go pro. Because when you go pro, you actually start making money, and if you win the fight, you get double the amount of money that you would if you lose the fight.
Right.
If you guys are aware with how that works.
No, I actually wasn't. I boxed a little bit, but that's cool. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's similar to boxing. Boxing and MMA fighters, the way the pay scale works is you get a certain amount of money to show up, and then if you win, you get double that amount of money. So just for like, numbers sake, obviously I make more money than this, but if I, 2 girls show up, you both make $100. The winner gets another $100. So like that's how it
It's your
works.
appearance fee because you're drawing people in because of your name and who
I mean,
you are.
you're in contract, and so you go there, you make the weight, you show up, and then whoever wins
Right.
gets double the money. It's just
It's a motivator too. So you want to get better, and
I
hone your
should say that John Geppetta from High Times is
Sorry,
sitting in
yeah.
sitting in as a guest. Bubba's not here. Bubba's out
Because he's
with the injury.
awesome.
Because he's
What's up,
awesome,
guys?
and we had such a great time with him on the show. We asked him to stick around. So I should say that. So Thanks for sticking in us, hanging out as
Thanks a
well.
lot, dude.
Thanks for calling it out.
yeah, it's awesome. But you're great. You're a great
I don't
conversationalist.
remember what I was saying, so let's go back.
We appreciate your company.
Thanks, guys.
You said it's a great
Happy to be
motivator.
here. Oh yeah, it's a great motivator.
Money
you
is
know,
a
hone
great
your skills.
motivator.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
you want to
Yeah.
get better as opposed to like, yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of people who scrape by just showing up.
Exactly.
But you know,
Yeah, no, we don't want to do that for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. You said you were stubborn growing up. So it was a scrappy kind of high school? Were you a rowdy high school kid?
Yeah, I mean, I hung out with a lot of like punk rock kids, and we got into a lot of trouble. We'd go to shows, and I was just getting into fights for some reason. I mean, I remember being in like the mosh pit, and like me and my friend Kendall, she actually lives in Hollywood, and we'd be like in this little show. We'd be in the mosh pit and like kind of just like pushing girls, and girls would like take it the wrong way, and we're like, it's a mosh pit, like what the fuck? And then we like end up getting into a fight, and I got into a couple fights in high school with boys too, and so that was different. And I think I had my first fight.
Like fist fights, going right at it?
Yeah.
Like pounding a dude out in the high school? How'd that go down?
It went really well, I mean, I've been a fighter.
It went really well. I mean, it was a great success.
I mean, I've been a fighter for a long time.
Was Joe Rogan there?
Just started recently getting paid.
Right? Just calling it.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always loved fighting, like I had my first like say street fight, whatever, when I was maybe like 11 or 12.
How did that go down?
So
What happened?
let's
Who
hear the
was
story.
this
so
person?
the lady who had to be like in her late 20s, maybe early 30s.
How old were you?
You were
Yeah.
11?
We'll say maybe 12, 12, 13,
All right.
maybe.
but like preteen.
And what
yeah,
was the deal?
preteen. Okay,
What was
so
the
we're
deal?
in my little like
We had a
small
much
town
different
neighborhood.
growing up
We're playing
experience.
basketball. All right. I remember it was my friend Cheryl. Fuck you, Cheryl. She always used to do this. Like she'd be like start a fight, and then like I would like be her friend to like back her up.
Classic
Finish it.
Cheryl.
Yeah,
Classic
Cheryl. And so this lady walked by, and I don't know, some kind of confrontation ensued, and Cheryl started popping her mouth off and talking shit. And then, like, as soon as the older woman started talking back, like, Cheryl was like, oh, just kidding. I don't want none of that. And then, so, like, I kind of was the friend. I've always been, like, the defender of, oh, my bad, the defender of all my friends, And I'm like, so I stood up, and this lady just slapped me across the face.
Wow.
Yeah. And so like I proceeded to get into like a slap fight with this older woman. Yeah.
Wait,
And
this is a woman who thought she was like disciplining a
no,
child.
I'm pretty sure she was a
You were
tweaker.
straight
Not
like
gonna lie.
slapboxing.
Slap, yeah.
I slapboxed her.
The funny, I lost for sure. But I remember going into my bathroom and looking at my face, and it had like, because we're playing basketball, right? So like I had like all these like black, from the asphalt, like black handprints all over my face, and I was like, I lost that fight.
No way.
But I didn't lose a fight for a very long time after that. So
Really?
yeah.
That's how you learn.
Yeah.
So I don't think very many people win a fight with someone twice their age. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's true.
the odds were against you from
For sure.
the get go.
Yeah.
Fucking Cheryl.
Fucking
Well,
Cheryl.
I'm sure if you saw her again now, it would be on.
Pretty sure she's like 65 or 70 right now.
Dude, you-
Exactly. So even the odds a little bit.
It's an easy win. It's an easy win.
For sure.
Not that I'm condoning beating up 65-year-old women named Cheryl
I think that's a super felony.
at all.
Well, I mean,
You
not that you're not. So you use cannabis. We got to talk. We got to hit on the cannabis thing. We're going to talk
yes.
about everything, but we got to hit on it because it's the the point of the podcast. But you use it occasionally recreationally. You're allowed to talk about this
Yeah,
stuff like
of
that.
course.
What are the what was the drug culture like when you were growing up? What was that? What is that about?
So, I mean, like I said before, I'm from Mendocino County.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
anybody's familiar with the marijuana plant, they know
Yeah.
that it's pretty big up there.
Yeah.
We're part of like the Emerald Triangle, and so my family, my grandfather included, brothers, sisters, family, have smoked weed since I can remember. And I was always like the weirdo of the family because I never smoked weed. And I actually started smoking weed probably a couple years after college. Like I was like a weirdo. Like I thought, like I was like, oh, drugs are bad,
Yeah,
but like.
yeah.
Like not try it or like not like
No,
smoke regularly.
I think I smoked like a couple times in high school, but I was I'm a big drinker. Like I thoroughly enjoy drinking, and So like it just makes me the opposite of when I drink. When I drink, I get very extrovert, and then when I smoke, I get very introvert. And like, not that it's a bad thing, but I think I prefer to be talkative and meet people and network. And when I smoke, I'm just like, I just want to take a nap and like, relax and chill, which is good. And there's a time and place for that. So I just like, weed's not for me. And then fast forward, 10 years, and now, like I don't smoke like every day or regularly, but I enjoy smoking. I think that I should probably smoke more than how much I drink. I think it's better for my body, for the sport that I do. I believe in its healing purposes. I believe in a lot of it. I'm just not super avid. I don't like go to the clinic and, buy,
You have some sort of CBD collab coming out or something like that, right?
Yeah, actually, I do. Thank you, Ephraim. CBD Daily is a sponsor of me and a couple of my other fighter girlfriends and fighter guy friends. They're great. They've got gummies and they got drops and they've got a salve and they've got a lotion. And I think for athletes, the salve and the lotion rubbing on the muscles is just... You can't beat it, like our bodies, we put our bodies through so much. So, I believe in the, what is it called? Sublingual, under the tongue or whatever. Yeah. And I'm sure the gummies get in there too, which taste yummy. But yeah, I really love the rubs and just, after like a hard training session, I think it's awesome.
There's a lot of preventative like qualities that it can that it can provide as well for like the protective sac against for combating like concussions and things like that. Do you guys focus anything on that at all?
So I am not like super, versed in exactly how it works. Sure. I feel like it's kind of like with your multivitamin. For me, like, it's healthy for you. I can't feel the immediate benefits, but I know it's good for me. And like I said, with the rubs and those, like I can actually feel like the muscle release and like the, like the inflammation go down. So I'm sure it's all good for me. I love it all. I believe in it. And, obviously like, it's a miracle.
What do you think about it being a prohibited thing for drug testing? Because I feel like it's silly. Is smoking weed gonna make you more aggressive? No.
In the UFC?
It doesn't give you an edge.
So you're not allowed to smoke weed in the UFC?
So it's called, so we're tested by an organization called USADA, United States Athletic Doping Administration.
It's called Doping Administration?
Yeah, United States Athletic
the verb of it.
Doping.
They lean into that, huh?
Yeah. Don't do doped, kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, they test us regularly. They test us sporadically. They don't tell you when they're coming, so they can come at 6 a.m. They can come at 10 p.m. And if you don't test, then it's basically like a miss. So you have to pee, and sometimes they even take your blood. And I don't mind it because I know that it's keeping my sport clean. Not in the sense of marijuana. I could give two shits about marijuana. Like,
Is marijuana specifically a banned substance, though?
It's a banned substance. Okay, so you have in competition and out of competition testing. In competition testing is only 24 hours prior to your fight. Meaning, so if they tested you a week before your fight and you had marijuana in your system, within reason, a certain amount, it's fine. Totally fine. You can smoke. But 24 hours before your fight, that's probably saying that you probably like lit up like a couple days before or maybe even that day. And it's just like, I think they're trying to take the immediate use of it within that competition, like that day out, but they don't care. You can use marijuana outside of the actual fight, if that makes sense.
Well, there's still conversation. I know the NFL is super difficult, and they say that they're still not sure what kind of performance enhancing abilities cannabis might have. So it's funny to hear but again,
make you want to eat a pizza before the game.
Exactly. They're starting to open the conversation,
make you slow down a little bit when you
I think it's like counterproductive, realistically. I mean,
exactly.
In my own I can only speak on my own personal experience, but when I smoke, my reaction time is not the best. I mean, like I kind of just want to cuddle. I don't really want to go punch anyone in the face. It's not doing anything for my like aggressive drive.
It's a peace plan.
Yeah. Like, and I just don't see why they would ban it. I really don't understand that, but got to stick to the rules because
I heard that.
So.
But it's only 24 hours before the fight.
And I don't quote me on the exact amount, but I don't know the exact amount, but you can have a certain amount in your system, like whenever, they come test me right now. I don't have a fight lined up, so I can smoke weed, and I smoked yesterday, and so they can come test me, and I pee, and I'm not worried about it. But if I had a fight coming up, and it was the day before my fight or whatever, then you have an issue. So,
what's your training regimen?
So yeah, I am a full-time athlete. I train in the morning, sometimes afternoon, and then I'll have a break, and then I'll train again at night. So it's not like a 9 to 5 job, but if you tally the hours that I put in on a daily basis, it would be, maybe even more than a 9 to 5 job with, also including the fact that it's very strenuous and the road work and the dieting and all that kind of stuff. So when I actually have a fight coming up, it's even more. Right now, I don't have a fight coming up, so I can train, 2 times a day and, eat a little more leniently than I would if I had a fight coming up. But if I have a fight, then, I'm a little like grumpy because I can't eat real food, and I'm, training all day, every day, pretty much. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Well, it's wild that you get to focus. So do you like cut out everything when you're drinking? Like, sorry, when you're training like that, like you should, drinking, no anything like that. Like, or do you give yourself some breaks?
My
Oh, hold on a sec. Let's let that helicopter pass.
Way out here.
I heard they're doing a weed podcast over here.
Yeah, right. We're like the MC5 of weed podcast. Totally. What was I saying?
What I cut out during my fight.
Oh yeah. So do you just go strict, like full on, like before a fight, no drinking, no anything, no.
So I don't really smoke like regularly, but when I actually have a fight, they give you a certain amount of time. It's around 1 to 2 months, depending on if you take the fight short notice. But yeah, they usually have a 2 months time frame, and I won't smoke when I'm in camp. I'll drink probably until like the last month, because that's probably like my relaxation, some other people are like weed, that's their go-to. Mine's like red wine, like chill at the end of the night. So, but for the last month, no alcohol, super strict diet, like running every night, very, very, very intense, like totally different Ashlee right now than right before a fight.
and you don't have a fight right now, but you're saying you're allowed to talk, you have a movie coming up, or you just did a movie or something like that?
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm really excited. It's just a really cool new opportunity. I am going to be in a movie. I'm shooting a movie.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm really
it's so
excited
cool.
about it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Like I'm hoping that this is like a smooth transition from fighting, because obviously we can't fight forever. I'm 31 years old now, and no one wants to see like a 40-year-old chick fighting.
Yeah.
So I'm shooting a movie in New York, first weekend of June. It's actually a boxing movie.
Cool.
It's going to be pretty big. I can't say like who's doing it, but we'll know who the producer is, I believe, and I'm just hoping that kind of snowballs and I get more roles. And
Absolutely.
I'm playing like the bad girl, obviously. I'm probably never going to be cast as like the girl next door, unfortunately, which is fine. But yeah, I'm excited about that.
Never say never.
Could you say a
Yeah, you
title?
never know.
Or
Title?
could you say a title of the movie, or is there anything
I
you
think
give away?
I can. Yeah, it's called Lola. It's a boxing
Lola.
movie called Lola.
Cool.
It's I don't know how much I can say about it, but it's a. Yeah, I really don't know how much I can say about it. This is my first time actually being in a legit
Wow.
movie.
Yeah,
I was
that's
in like a
cool.
very, very small movie recently where I played the drug dealer's girlfriend, and I was like the female silent Bob.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
It's
awesome.
interesting.
Did you have any action and stuff like that? Have you been training for the movie, or
The action in the Silent Bob movie or this movie?
Well, both. Did you have any action in the Silent Bob movie?
The Silent Bob movie, yeah, we're kind of like at a pause in shooting. The guy is actually based here in Hollywood. He's an actor himself. He produces it, directs it, and stars in it. And the movie's going really well, but I'm not sure where we're at right now. I was the aggressive. I beat people up in the movie and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Like what kind of training? Like what was compared to what you normally do for a living to the movie thing? Was it an adjustment?
Fight choreography in movies is like, compared to real fighting, is kind of like a joke, but there's an art to it, like angles and all that. It was really fun.
You ever land any blows on accident?
Not in this movie, not so far.
But have you
but
in the past?
No. And well, this movie, the new one, Lola, I haven't shot it yet, but apparently there's a lot of fight choreography. And
It's inevitable, kind of, right?
I don't know. I really don't know. We'll see. But yeah, like I said, I'm like the female Ivan Drago. I'm like throughout the whole movie. But
I love that.
The female Ivan Drago.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
That's awesome.
She's all, if he dies, he dies.
yeah.
Are your co-stars horrified that they have like a real fighter that they're up against?
No, they're actually really excited. We were talking on social media, and they're like, "I'm so excited to meet you," and like,
That's cool.
like they're like legit actors, and I'm like, "I'm excited to meet you."
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Admiring
so
a different
cool.
craft.
yeah, for sure.
It's sweet.
Is this your first time doing? Like, did you ever try to act or anything like that when you were a kid, or was it always just about?
Yeah, no, I did theater all through high school, and I did a couple years in college. last year I started a YouTube channel, and I just took some acting classes just to kind of hone up on, like talking skills, whatever. But plus, acting is so fun. When do you ever get to pretend to be someone else?
Yeah, exactly.
And if you are in the real world, usually that's not a good thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
So it's fun, and I just get to be goofy. Like I think sometimes I'm a very shy person, but when you're on the stage, it's okay to be goofy. You don't have to be, because you're on stage, it's all right.
No, totally.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I do all kinds of shit I would never do if I wasn't on stage. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of get away with murder.
Yeah.
It removes
I
that
can be
barrier.
everybody I want to be ever on stage.
It removes that barrier of shame.
Oh, dude. It's just... I don't know. It's just.
Or you get to
freedom.
you get to exercise maybe some secondary thoughts as
Yeah,
well. It's maybe some
ultimate
things you would you toy with in your brain. Do you know what I mean? But you don't really genuinely mean. Like, and the example I'm saying is, we were listening to your record, the Into the Valley record.
Yeah.
They'll be held up. That tune. And I was singing it, and Bubba was listening, and Bubba's not as familiar with the Death by Stereo thing. And he's like, "This is Ephraim. He's so nice."
No. So can I tell you the story?
Please
Like
do.
when I.
Oh yeah.
So I've been listening to Ephraim's music for a long time, like 15 years. And so I had this image of him in my head, and I was like, dude, he's probably going to be like hardcore. He's going to be like, my name's Ephraim, like, I remember like meeting him. I think it was for the first time, maybe at Alex's bar, I feel like. And he was just the nicest person. And I was like, blew my mind. But you hear him sing, and I was like, oh, this guy's gonna be intense. And he was just like, hey, thanks for coming to the show. Thank you so much. I'm like, thank you. So
I remember having a conversation with you, and you're like, I thought you were gonna be like way gnarly. And I'm all, what'd you think I was gonna be like? How are you?
Yes, I did.
How you doing tonight?
Yeah, I did for some weird reason.
It's so funny.
Could you imagine him like ordering food at the drive-thru? Like, I'll take a number 2, please. Number 2. Hold the cheese.
With cheese.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
So we got the movie coming up. You don't have any fights. What? How does that work? Like, is it you just like just have another opportunity, or are you just like, I'm gonna fight? I'm going to pick a fight at the end of the year. That's when I'm going to start looking. How does that come together?
It's a very unique situation, to be honest.
Okay.
It's like, I feel like, I don't know, like there's the king and we're like the jesters or whatever. Like the UFC will call you and they'll be like, hey, we got this fight for you. Basically, like, and you don't say no to the UFC. So it's just like, you're fighting this person in this location at this state. And you're like, well, okay, here we go. And so you just proceed to train and prepare for that fight the best you can. And right now, they did offer me a fight actually in June, but I had to pass it up because of some like personal shit that was going on. I got a speeding ticket and got my license suspended and some bullshit, which sounds so silly. So it's like that really impeded my training. I can't go to the right gyms in LA and stuff. So I said, we'll fight in July. So now we're just waiting for the phone call. But I know it's coming, so I'm training still. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting lifestyle. I'm just kind of waiting for that phone call and they tell me, go fight this person at this date at this time. I'm like, okay.
Do they keep you on retainer at all? Or are you just like, you're making enough from your fights?
I'm in contract. So, unfortunately, like if I wanted to go, like let's say they said, oh, we don't have a fight for you for like a year.
Yeah, you couldn't go fight in Russia.
I can't go fight somewhere else.
Yeah.
But
globally? Like
anywhere.
around the world? Anywhere in the world?
Anywhere. Yeah, the UFC, they own you. But yeah,
United fighting, whatever.
Ultimate.
I know,
United.
Make it stand for you. You is universal.
Okay. But yeah, no, it's a good job, and I get paid now a significant amount. But the trick is you have to fight consistently, which is hard sometimes because with this job there are hazards. I can get injured, or my opponent could pull out.
You had an injury recently.
I did.
Yeah.
I was supposed to fight back in November, and I had to pull out. And if you pinch your pennies right, and you lined everything up, well, I didn't have that fight, so money got kind of tight. But I mean, it's good. I'm definitely making good money at this point. But the goal is to fight multiple times a year. But that, sometimes you get injured.
You don't have the option.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Do you still love it? Do you love it doing it still?
It will always be my first love. When I was that little shithead punk rock girl in, Ukiah, what saved me from, I went to jail in Ukiah. I got,
Okay, let's.
Well,
No, don't stop your story.
Yeah, so basically what I'm saying is that like I got into a lot of trouble in high school, and then wrestling was what actually kept me going and kept me like on the right track, and then I went to college. So fighting is still doing that for me, because I feel like I mean, hence the Rebel Girl name. Like I have this tendency to like get into trouble, you know. So, but yeah, no, fighting will always be my first love. Wrestling saved me, fighting saved me, and you know, maybe I do go into acting, you know, or stunt work or something like that. But
you had mentioned to me that you were interested in getting into management.
yeah, I am managing one fighter right now, Emmy. Shout out to Emmy.
What's the fighter's name?
Emilius.
Okay.
Yeah, he's great. He's only had one pro fight, but I thought maybe I wanted to be a fight manager. So I thought, okay, I'm going to help one of my teammates out, not charge him anything, you know what I mean, but just see what it's like to talk to promoters and help him and do all that. And it's cool. It's definitely cool, but it's a lot of work, a lot of unappreciated work, you know?
Yeah.
And so what it's done is really make me appreciate my own manager. And I'm like, dang, you guys have to put up with so much. And he has a buttload of fighters, and I have one fighter, and I'm like, you know, so, you know, I don't think that will be the route that I go, you know? We haven't talked in a little bit, but, you know, I've been putting my toe in the water and testing it out, and, you know, I don't know, maybe if I joined a management company and
You're different if you're part of a firm.
Yeah, but like on my own right now, like, you got to put in a
all
lot
those
of work.
resources behind
Yeah,
you. It's hard.
So
It's a full-time gig on top of a full-time gig.
I'd rather go into broadcast, you know, maybe fight commentary or, you know, like what movies, that kind of stuff.
Acting,
Yeah. I mean, my degree is in journalism. You know, that's why I graduated.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I love interviewing people. That's why I did the YouTube channel. It's actually my degree is in print journalism. So I didn't know back in 2009 that it was a dying medium. Unfortunately, no one told me that. I wish I would have done broadcast. You know, I did a little bit of radio back then, which is dumb too. But yeah, I'm open right now. I like whatever opportunities come my way. I was telling Ephraim earlier, like I'm like a yes woman. Like yes, I'll do it. Yes, I'll try it out. So.
Well, thank you for doing this.
Yeah. Yes, I'll do it.
really
Yes, I'll try it out.
Yeah. This has been awesome. We really appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, no problem.
We won't take up any of your time. Ashlee, thank you so much for telling us how you got into the weeds and kind of just hang out in the weeds. You know,
Exactly.
Your story's awesome, and you're inspiring, and it's great.
You are
It's
inspiring.
It's awesome.
Oh.
Super inspiring.
And I can't wait to see Lola.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
For sure.
Keep your shit for
Yeah.
Lola. We'll keep you posted.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Where can everybody reach you on your socials, online?
Yeah, it's all the same across the board. It's my name, Ashlee, Ashlee, no Y, and then MMA. So Ashlee MMA, Snapchat, Twitter, the Instagrams, all that.
All of it.
All right.
All of it.
Instagram.
Again, thanks for telling us how you got into the weeds.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. That's awesome.
This episode
That was so fun.
presented by Pot Guide and WikiLeaf. Please follow ITW on Twitter and Instagram at Get Into the Weeds. You can follow Ben Rispin at Ben Rispin. You can follow Ephraim Martinez Schulz at F by Stereo. And me, Bubba Nicholson at Bubba Nicholson. ITW's theme music was written by Jacob Bergsma of My Son the Hurricane. Visit them at www.msthofficial.com. Special thanks to our friends at Puff Digital, Program Skate and Sound, and the Slide Bar in Fullerton, Orange County. Sound engineering provided by Roman Marconi at Halo Studios Hamilton. ITW was created by Ben Rispin and is produced by Master Volume.